Hey, what's up, Facebook? Live's been having a bit of a mare today. I've been trying to make it work. So I put a picture up earlier to do with people's idea of all men and women being the same, right? And I'll be honest with you, I couldn't count on both my hands and feet how many women I've spoke to that say all men are the same, right? So I'm going to flip this on its head like I do in most things. Why on earth would you want all men to be completely different? Do you know what I mean? You say they're all the same, right? But why would you want like a handful of people that you can speak to? Because a soulmate, or I'll tone it down a bit for the people that don't appreciate the deepness too much. For somebody who you invest your time in, you want to be beside, lay beside. You want to look after you, look after your children when you have them, look after, the future you're going to build together. Why would you want to have more than one opportunity to do that? Because let me tell you something, that opens up a right kind of worms. Metaphor kind of going off there, but that opens up a real bad situation. Because if you look at one guy and you look at another guy and you weighing them both up and you like them both, how complicated is that? And that goes against the idea when I say that love isn't difficult, because it isn't. Now, let's take that opportunity of those two guys that you might like, or two girls. I'm talking man's perspective as well, but most men don't like to open their feelings, don't we know it? When you look at two guys stood side by side, you know, or you should know and feel that there's going to be another guy that's going to come along that's going to trump both of them, and you're like, he's the one. And let me give you some tips on to figure out who that guy is. Number one, that guy's going to make a lot of effort with you. And I mean a lot of effort. I mean, like, you're going to look into his eyes and you're going to see something totally different, because there's a feeling that you get when you look at somebody, right? Like, you could meet 10 different people for dates, right? But then you meet that one person and you start looking at them different, and all of a sudden you become conscious and you're looking around and you're like, wow, I feel like I'm here. Do you know, I feel like I'm here with this person. You listen to what they're saying and you sat down and you're watching them, and you can't help but notice their facial features or appreciate who they are. And you start to get this sensation inside you where you think, what the hell is this? And unfortunately for a lot of people, it scares them. It scares them because they don't trust that it's genuine. Let me tell you, I've had that a lot. And that's not me blowing my intro, but I've had that a lot. Do you know what I mean? People are so afraid of what they've experienced that they're not open to the whole new idea of somebody being genuine, somebody being loving, being caring. And a lot of the time you can see through when somebody's being fake. You're just telling yourself a lie against it. When you meet a guy and you say, oh, he slept with me and then chucked me off and all this, if you sat down, took yourself out of the situation, took yourself away from the fact that you really want to be with somebody, and you look them in the face, you would know whether they're genuine or not. And you know what? The same thing goes for women. There are a lot of women that don't know what they want and they jump into things. And then there's guys that get hurt, the good guys. Yeah, the good guys get hurt. And the stigma behind, men and their numbers when it comes to sleeping around with people, I get it. But let me tell you something. Numbers mean nothing when you find that one right person. You could have slept with 250 different people. It means nothing until you meet that one person, because that one person is going to revolutionize and change the whole idea of your life. You're going to look them in the eyes and you're going to just be blown away. Smitten. That's it. This person's the one, right? You're so desperate. And I mean this with all due respect. Like, I've been there thinking that I needed something I didn't, right? Thinking you need that relationship, you need that support, that security, that togetherness with somebody. It takes time. It takes time. You can't rush something so intense, because that's what it should be. It should be intense. This should be the last person that you're going to be with for the rest of your life. That's the principle. That's the idea of humanity. That's the idea of people. Like, we're there to be with each other and to help each other through all of the stuff that goes on. And if there's a voice in the back of your head telling you that something doesn't seem right, you have to listen. I've done it in the past. I've ignored that voice, and then later down the line, everything goes to pot. But it's only when you lose the effort that you have with somebody. So you have to find that person that's going to make effort with you. Because if you're let me say, there'll be a lot of people that are doing this now. If you're messaging somebody, yeah, and they're taking 3, 4, if they're not at work, if you know they're not at work, and they're taking 3, 4, 5 hours to reply to you, get the hint, get the message. I mean, come on. And a lot of people argue with that, right? But think of this right now. Because when you're with that person, if they're on their phone a lot, what's that telling you? Answer your own questions. From experience, right, and I've been a fool of it in the past, if somebody's not messaging you, it's because they can't be bothered. And if they can't be bothered, they're not showing you the attention you deserve as a person, because you have a lot to give. You have a lot to give, you just don't know it yet. You know, up here, when you're looking in the mirror and the person that's looking back, you're like, oh, am I good enough? Am I good enough? Really? Like, wow, like, I don't know how you can ask yourself that question, because you're good enough for the one right person that's in this world. I know they're down there. I know they're out there somewhere, you know? And there are relationships that are toxic, and there are times when people do bad things. Not all men are the same, and not all women are the same. You just found one person that wasn't right for you at that time, and they weren't ready. Because if anybody hurts you, they're not someone that you're meant to be with. If you're in a relationship and somebody's hurting you, something's wrong. You should never want to hurt each other. You should never want to beat each other. You should never want to cheat on each other. You should never want to go against each other and talk behind each other's backs. You should be there for each other. Support each other. Be a rock. Be a building. Build a legacy together for your children, for your family, for the people that care about you. Too often I hear girls say that, you know, are there any nice guys out there, any good guys out there? Just be patient. Just wait. And don't push away the guy that shows his feelings, that shows his emotions. Because that's what life's about. That's what it's all about, you know? Like, it's insane. Like, so many people, they turn their nose up at emotion and turn their nose up at somebody giving the, you know, wearing the heart on a sleeve. Why? They're showing you who they are. They're opening up their heart and they've been like, this is me. If you're not attracted to them, let them know. And if you think there might be something there and you're afraid, go with it. The worst that can happen is you learn your lesson. It's sad to think that some people end up with the person that they're not meant to be with. Which, let me tell you something, just around the corner is the person you're meant to spend your life with. Don't settle for nothing. Don't settle for misery. Don't settle for pain. Don't settle for anything like that. Settle for exactly what you deserve. Because there is somebody who will match everybody. I don't care what your traits are. I don't care what you look like, where you're from, the way you dress, your money situation, your financial situation. You know, I don't give a shit about any of that. I don't care. There is somebody out there that will be with you and stand by your side through anything. Just make sure you're ready when the time's right. Don't go into something when you're not ready for it. It will collapse and fall around you. You wouldn't build a house on sand, would you? Don't build a relationship on a foundation that's not ready. It's a big topic, this, and it bothers a lot of people. I know it does. It's bothered me in the past. Probably still does at times. Not that I'll admit that. But you gotta accept that if you don't see the difference in every single individual person when they make actions and they do things, there's something wrong with you. If you're looking at people and you're comparing them, oh my God, don't ever do it. Don't ever do it. If you're speaking to somebody or you're getting close to someone, you compare them to someone else, don't do it. That is the biggest destroyer of somebody's self-worth, because you're making them feel worthless. You're making them feel like they don't deserve to be with you because they're not special. Think about what you say. Show love. Don't be afraid of it. fuck, if you get it right, that's it. You know, that's it. That's the point. If you get it right, that's it. Just take the time to get it right. Thanks for listening. I hope people took what they needed from this. You know, halfway through, I think I got my point across halfway through. So have a great evening, afternoon, guys. Take care and see you later.